Hey guys, welcome back, and today we have kind of a tale of two voice actors. Now, if you didn't pay attention last week, there was a little bit of a controversy about the Yakuza English dub that YouTuber Yong Yea was doing. He was taking on the role of the protagonist, who apparently there was another game that they had a fairly successful English dub of the title character, and his performance was somewhat lacking. But ironically, using this one website, TheGamer, to contrast how they cover this story versus Chris Pratt's voice acting job of Garfield in the new movie that's coming out, it's hysterical to see the way that they'll defend him. They'll shill for this guy, but simultaneously put down Chris Pratt's performance, even though one of them is wildly popular, wildly successful, and the other one's not. So let's go through the first article here from TheGamer. Of course, I'm not going to their website. We're using this through the archives. I'm not giving them ad revenue. So the title says, Kazuma Kiryu's English voice was always going to be impossible. Yong Yea is under fire for his performance as a character who's near impossible to get right. So just in the setup for this article, they've mentioned twice that it's impossible for anybody to do this character properly. Says, Kazuma Kiryu is a gaming icon. His booming voice and daunting presence has long been a staple of the Yakuza franchise, more so even than the name itself as it switches to its new Like a Dragon moniker in the West. Takaya Kuroda's take on the character is seen by fans as impossible to replace. Again, we're already using the word impossible 3 times, and we're still in the first paragraph here. He isn't going anywhere, but with the return of English dubbing to the series with Judgment, now mainline Like a Dragon titles are receiving the same treatment. This means for the first time outside brief cameos in the PS2 original, the protagonist will be fully voiced in English. YouTuber turned voice actor Yong Yea landed the role last year, and with the arrival of Like a Dragon Gaiden and a playable demo of Infinite Wealth, we finally caught a snapshot of his performance. Sadly, it isn't good. He's unable to capture the gravitas of Kiryu in any of the scenes we've seen so far, mostly since he is basically making use of his regular voice, albeit with a stern, authoritative twist. Kiryu's cameo in Yakuza Like a Dragon was voiced by Daryl Carrillo, I don't know how to say the last name, Carrillo, who does a better job at conveying the character's weathered experience and undying loyalty, but still sounds like a clumsy facsimile of the Japanese original that tries awkwardly to translate a legacy built over the decade into a few lines of dialogue, so on and so on. So basically, the article goes on to say the character, the Japanese original, is impossible to adapt perfectly in English. No one's going to ever be as happy with it. And the article goes on to say that basically Yong Yea did his best. Nobody could do it perfectly. People that were dogging him didn't realize that it was the examples that were given on Twitter were just basically like early sets where he was still getting into the role and it wasn't the finished product. It's always the same excuse. Oh, it's not the finished product. This was the original screening, whatever. This wasn't the finished voice acting job. This was the early stages of it. So they basically try as hard as they can in this article to defend him, despite the fact that pretty much everybody universally cannot stand the voice dubbing that he did. And you can go listen to clips of it yourself. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but you know, it's just not good.
And you can go home in one piece.
Oh, somebody did an AI over it.
But if you don't.
Yeah, so I mean, literally they could have hired somebody else to do a better job. Unfortunately, it didn't do well. And he has since gone on a blocking spree, blocking anybody noteworthy who has criticized him. And it's been hilarious because literally people have roasted the hell out of him. Now, contrast that with TheGamer's article on Chris Pratt, doing the voice for the Garfield character. I think that movie's coming out later this year, pretty soon here, actually. If not, it'll be the first part of next year, I'm pretty sure. Basically goes on to say, yeah, his voice acting is fine. In Mario, it wasn't that bad. Judging from the debut trailer, Pratt is dishing out his own voice more than anything. It's Mario without the Brooklyn accent, Emmett without the boundless enthusiasm. Pratt's Garfield loves lasagna and hates all things mundane. His performance in the trailer does a good enough job of getting that across. It isn't perfect, with our audiences already complaining that Pratt is pretty much doing his own voice and not much else, rarely leaning into the stronger parts of his range when bringing the character to life. And it's one of those things that's like, if you go watch the trailer, there's not much of his speaking to actually go off of.
I apologize in advance. The eating you're about to see will not be pretty. And if you have young children, this would be a good time for them to leave the room.
So it's not as if there's a whole lot to work with. There's probably about a half dozen actual spoken lines in the trailer. Yes, it sounds like Chris Pratt. No, he doesn't try to cover up his own voice. Yes, there's obviously been better adaptations of, Garfield, both in like the, older cartoons and the more recent ones. Does that mean that there's anything wrong with the voice acting job itself? No, of course not. But it is shocking. I mean, it's not shocking. It shouldn't be surprising at this point that an outlet like TheGamer will go out of their way to cover for one person and completely dog the other one, despite the fact that Chris Pratt is pretty universally loved by most fans that watch his movies, that have watched like the Lego movie. Mario, look, I was actually impressed with Mario. I thought it was going to be crap. I didn't realize that they were going to do more of a different take on Mario's voice, and the movie was great. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely a great movie. So it's just, it's sad that these people are so out in the open about how much they hate Chris Pratt. Master of the TDS here on Twitter is basically, he's got screenshot compilations of all the people freaking out over the casting of Chris Pratt, regardless of how he sounds. Might kill myself. It was cute until I saw Chris Pratt's name. Now I want a KMS in front of it. I'm going to KMS in front of Chris Pratt. Stop casting this freaking movies. Just greedy and gluttonous like his plan to take over the voice acting industry. Can we cancel Chris Pratt again so he never has to take the jobs of actual voice actors? I mean, the level of hatred for this guy is unreal. All because he goes to church and he doesn't speak about politics. He's not even openly political. But yeah, this is the kind of crap you get anytime this guy gets a job. And look, I'll be the first person to say, no, he's not the most amazing voice actor, and no, he doesn't need to have every role in Hollywood. But if it was anybody else, you would not see this level of vitriol. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this. Share your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys showing up to my live stream on Monday. Don't forget, I actually do a live stream every Monday night on my main channel. Well, not main channel, my live channel. I'll link that down below. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys there, and we will see you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.